Welcome to the Unicorn Circuit, your weekly dose of car news.
Regularly weekly. Is that even legal?
Hat, the tin foil.
Your crap car, my crap car.
bag.
Random. I was going to say that. Mailbag.
Yeah, and some story time. We got conspiracies. We've got the biggest show of the week.
Do you know it's been 130 or something episodes, and we still can't recite in order or from memory the shit that's in this show?
Yes.
Like, is that a problem? Yeah. Should we really know what that? We even got a fan even remade our sign that says the things which we never bother even to read.
Should I, Martin? I'm going to show everybody. Just keep the talking going, so we don't have what they call in TV.
It's going to be one of the biggest episodes that we've ever done. Also, not one of the biggest ones at the same time, which is quite interesting.
We had one of these, and we used it for years, and so it said, "Car news, is that even legal?" This here, it said weird stuff from the Unicorn, so we used to open stuff off the internet. Then we realised that you send us even weirder stuff, so we'll just open your stuff, and that became Mailbag. Anyway, this was falling apart, and a fan actually made us one in Photoshop, or if they're a real legend, Preview on Mac. And then they remade it for us so we know what to read, and that's how we know what's coming next.
And we still use it, and it's bloody excellent. It's been there since the very, very first episode. First bit of news. Are we cracking into it?
Do you know what's professional about this? And you know, obviously main TV and YouTube and stuff is slightly different, but this thing that we developed when I guest hosted the project, I think other than all the TV crew and stuff, it was a building full of people. They had different experts, not for each section, but for each story.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Each story was produced.
Yeah, we could go, a car news person could come in here if we were going to be really professional and go, Martin, you're going to talk about electric cars, but not electric cars, that electric car, that's your thing, and you work it out.
Right.
Then, now I'm going to talk about the new Volkswagen stuff. And then another person comes in, and then there's different people for each of this, if we were professional.
I want to talk about real TV for a minute, because my friend here, last night, was at the Logies, everybody. Now, all of you that are overseas are going, what the hell is a Logie? Is that something,
under 40.
You cough up when you've got a really bad case of COVID? Yes, that is similar. No, the Logies is an award show.
Is it the Australian Academy Awards?
Kind of, yeah.
Except for TV?
It's like a TV awards show.
Martin was sending me funny videos from home. He sent me a good video. That was excellent. I made a little video, actually. I'll link it down below. I made a little video. Someone stole my bag and my hat and my shoes. Shocking. Anyway, Martin, I just want to address something quickly.
Are you going to tell me a highlight from the Loogies?
A highlight. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the people down the side of the room.
Oh, maybe don't then.
The toilet people.
No, don't talk about the toilet people.
Okay.
But if you needed to go for a wee at the Logies, does someone take your spot while you do a wee? Are you allowed to confirm or deny that?
Like
because I saw
tell me what you saw.
I was watching and I saw as
I'm
the
not
camera,
saying anything.
As
you
the
tell me
camera
what you
pans
saw.
out, I noticed that standing up the side of the theatre, because it's done in like a theatre or a casino or something. There's just a bunch of people kind of standing there, and then every time they back, there's like different group of people standing there, and my assumption is that those people fill the holes. The gaps.
How many empty seats did you see?
Oh, almost none.
None.
And I saw only a few people on their phones, very rarely as well.
Yeah.
So did they say don't use your phone?
They didn't, but I noticed that no one would use their phone either.
Yeah, right.
How's my English? Except for me. Because sometimes I would film some things and I'd look around and it was really weird. Because here's what I've learned about TV, Martin. They're old.
Yes.
And me too. And so what I realised was that if it was a YouTube event, and you and I have hosted the equivalent of the Logies for the internet is probably called FanFest.
They had FanFest and Brandcast. And Brandcast was like the advertiser one and FanFest was for the fans, and they mixed it for a while.
But we've appeared at FanFest on stage, I think in Singapore, was it? And then we've also hosted Brandcast a couple of times.
We went to the New York one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone's on their phone.
That's true.
But then I think maybe it's not because they're not on their phone because they can't be on their phone. I think they're not on their phone because it's too difficult to bring the to the Logies. It's too big and it can't take photos. You know what I mean? Martin,
not expecting that one.
Martin, I found some shocking footage this week.
Are we still talking about Loogies?
No, I'm talking about you now.
I want to move on. Just before we move on, I want one more point about the Loogies. No, we're not in the news yet because we're talking about just stuff that's happened. This isn't news. What I liked about the Loogies was it looked like everyone there is having a pretty good time and hanging out. And what I liked about it was in YouTube land, like we've been to a lot of events, the events that he mentioned, and you do meet people. I was thinking back about the people we met. We've met Dude Perfect, and we've met like a bunch of like very well-known YouTube, Casey Neistat, real well-known YouTubers from over the last decade and a half, right? Obviously, it's changing, and it's changing real quick. TV land changes a little bit more slowly, so there are quite a lot of people that are getting up, accepting their logie, and they're like, "Thanks, I've been in this industry for 40 years," and I'm
Larry
like,
Emder.
40 years.
40 years.
I was one.
Yes.
And he was starting his TV career and now had just won whatever the gold logie thing is, and he's had a 40-year career. Now, we've been on YouTube for 16-ish years, roughly.
It's a long time.
And that's considered a very, 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 very long time, thanks to a dedicated audience, which is you legends out there. You're happy watching this stuff, and we love making it. But these guys, 40 years. And it was nice to see that industry all sort of gathering. You don't really see that on YouTube, not in the physical world, which brings you to the next point about YouTube being so much more dispersed. So it'd be kind of hard. Imagine trying to do a YouTube Awards. It's very common, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this, that someone goes, "Have you seen this YouTube guy? They've got 8 million subscribers." And you're like, "I've never heard of them." And then you go through, and there's like 1,000 videos and 45 billion views, and you're like, that's been happening the whole time, and I've been completely unaware because of all the niches, and we absolutely are in a niche as well. And while we might get recognised overseas a bit more than potentially some of these people in the homegrown thing, they are exceptionally well known because they're in people's faces every night and every morning on the telly.
Martin, anyway, that is exactly the case, because certainly with Jonathan LaPaglia and Bo, who are both well known in Australia, you see when you walk down the street, most people in Australia, because we don't have real that celebrity thing, they recognise them, and you see them go, "I think that's whatever." They would get it 5 times as much as me. Overseas, though, they get little, if at all, unless it's kind of a very specific thing. Here's my takeaway, though, from last night, Martin. And obviously, we fly the flag for YouTube because that's been amazing for us and our lives and being able to, run this business and have fun and hang out and stuff like that. I had a moment last night when I was sitting in a room. It was full of people. It's being live streamed. It's on Channel 7. You've got Missy Higgins, who's a great Australian performer, up on stage. Guy Sebastian there.
James
Jess
Bay
Malvoy's
well,
there.
International.
Yep, he's there as well. They're playing music. There's awards. There's live crosses there, whatever. And I had this moment where I went, YouTube cannot do this. It can't do it. Or looking around at the crew, all the camera guys, they are seasoned like old pirates, man. They've all got long hair. There's big cameras. There's big setup. There's big... YouTube could do it as an event. They could hire a company to do it.
Yes.
But this was TV making TV. So in a way, it's kind of the snake eating its own butt, but it's a tasty butt. Because I'm like, there is so much infrastructure and so much going on in this room, and it requires more people. You can make a fun little entertainment show like this, which is great. It requires hardly any... external things, as in we don't need 20 different camera people and all these different producers and stuff like that. And I would argue, I really love this show. I know we make lots of jokes. I really like it. And I would argue it's better than a lot of the talkback stuff that's on radio and some of TV. You decide, you tell us. But when you see somebody's about to get an award, and then all these camera people disperse out and they film all the people at once so they can get the reactions, put it on there and live stream it. And as I'm sitting there at the table at the front, I'm getting sent messages from you going, "That was a cool thing." Like, it's happening live. And it's not like live streaming. It's a huge production involving hundreds of people, of publicists and makeup and all of this stuff. It's quite impressive.
Last point, and because it's the world we're in as well, one thing to think about as well is that you might go, "That's nostalgic, that's old school, that's like that industry is dying for whatever reason." You know what supports that industry? Money. It always did, and it always will. The ads that were on for the cereal that you used to watch when you were a kid, someone paid for it. That paid for the cartoons that you watched. Someone's got to pay. We come back to this quite often with a blog that he wrote many years ago about, like, someone's got to pay for it. It is entertainment. It costs money to make, so someone's got to pay. That industry's changing. Where's their money gone? The money's gone to TikTok. It's gone to Facebook. It's gone to Instagram. It's gone to YouTube. It's gone to all these different places. It's dispersed, and so have the creators who have also dispersed, which is why there's so many more of them and so many kids these days that are like, "I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up." Once upon a time, someone would have said, "I want to be on telly." And you go, "Yeah, okay, cool, mate." There's a 1 in a billion chance that's going to happen now. It's 1 in 1,000. What
I still can't quite work out the maths on, though, this is a very cerebral show compared to our fishing extravaganza a couple of weeks ago, is that there was a time that YouTube was investing in starting up bigger channels. So I think we spoke about Motor Trend. I think got some money, and some other channels did, and a number of these different channels. Some of them were given, I believe, like a 7-figure amount. Don't quote me. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars getting given out to people to try and make stuff that competes with TV. Now, other than kind of Mr. Beast videos, which you see have a huge amount of infrastructure in terms of the amount of people and organisation and games and things like that required, I don't really see YouTube putting heaps of money in making a TV style thing anymore. No. You know what I mean? Like that big production stuff. But then on the flip side of that, you've got shows like the Australian version of Top Gear, which I don't know what it costs, but it will cost millions and millions of dollars. And that money is coming from somewhere. There are still people that want good stories. They want good entertainment. It's one of those things that when times are good, you want entertainment. When times are bad, you want entertainment. Definitely times are changing though, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens in 5 years' time if you flick your TV on and go, is the old game shows there with the guy running around giving away 20 grand and full of ads? Like, do you reckon that will still be there?
I don't know. It really depends what people are prepared to do and how much they're prepared to do it for and how much heft you can bring.
What is the cost?
The budget. What's the cost? Can you do it with a lot less? Can you make something as good and entertaining? And like always, I mean, we're musicians from back in the day. Didn't matter how good your microphone was. If you had a really, really good song, it's going to cut through. And it really does come back to that, I think, with a lot of entertainment these days. If it's really good, you don't care really if it's filmed on an iPhone or some hectic camera. Like, it's just, is it intriguing? Is the story good? Does it capture you? Does it capture your imagination? Does it make you feel better about yourself? And does it make you feel better about yourself is the big one I've been thinking about lately. Because if it doesn't, why are you wasting your time? Anyway, that's the Unicorn Circuit.
Martin,
thanks for watching.
No, you made an excellent point. Because I feel like the only people that care about, mostly the only people that care about the quality of the microphone and the cameras and stuff are purists who are often invested in that industry. Think about when mastering, and so mastering is kind of the process of kind of you finish making a song, then it goes to a process. Marty and I have both taken our stuff to professional mastering studios in the past. No doubt it sounds better afterwards. Absolutely. They do the magic sauce on it. But at the same time, I believe there was a campaign amongst the marketing of recording studios and mastering engineers. They refer to it as a black art. It's something magic. Well, are they? Are they compressing it? Are they tightening up the low end? Are they giving the top using some kind of stereo field width stuff? Look, I know there's more to it than that. But at the same time, you listen to songs like Bob Dylan, Nick Drake. You listen to these, like people are loving it because of that thing. The people who want us to buy better cameras are the people that want us to buy better phones, the people that sell lenses, the people that hire stuff out. I don't know what we're talking about. The Gemini poster.
I don't think it matters. Interestingly, people have said, because it came up in the last Gemini episode where I was wiring with Dave, and this is newsworthy. When we were talking about Gemini, we're about to talk about it a bit more.
Are we in the news now? No. Not yet? Okay.
When we were talking to Dave, there was a whole section of me and Dave talking about the wiring.
60 hours of wiring.
When I was editing this, I think you had the first pass of edit and I did the final pass of edit. And then I was looking at it going, I don't know if people are going to hang around. Is the wiring just too nerdy and boring? And I made myself leave it in there because I'm like, this is, if you've got a project car and you'll wire it from scratch, guess what? It's going to take friggin' ages and you are going to have to deal with this stuff. So maybe this will give you a bit of an idea of what you're up against or whether you want to take it on. And I left it in there and a lot of people did feedback and said, I love seeing all that stuff.
Yes.
So my point was going to be, I know some of you are happy to listen to us talk rubbish for literally 60 hours, which is what we said that wiring would take and actually did take, and he's not quite finished but nearly there. And we'll get to that in a second about what's coming up with the Gemini. Anyway, if you're still watching it and you don't mind us talking this kind of rubbish, then we just will. Because that's what we do all day, every day anyway.
Look, we're not in the news yet, but I want to recap this incredible 2-minute introduction. I went to the Logies. It's a TV award. TV's still making some good stuff. There's some great shows out there on all the different networks.
How's it going to get paid for going forward in the future? No one knows. That's anyone's guess.
No one knows. But there is a link below. I made a little video. I got on the red carpet where no one at all knew who I was except for one person. I asked some people, anyone that I was kind of recognised from telly, I was like, what sort of car did you used to have? It's your last chance for the Gemini poster. The main pop of the main channel will be told either tomorrow or the next day that it's their last chance because there's one more opportunity if you get one. In approximately a week, they'll be gone for good. That's it. There's a link now. Check that out. And then there's a new Gemini video coming out this week also, which should be out around the same time you're seeing this video. So check out the main channel.
Can I tell one more Gemini story?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Are we in the news yet?
No.
Okay, good.
Yesterday, so I was missing a few parts for some final. I'm in that point now, which is why the video is kind of at this point sometimes slow down and wind. Now there'll probably be a break between when we've got the car, hopefully starting and working to when we dyno it, because It's obviously not with a car that's this big, possible
That's
to
the
just
big bit right there,
to just
the time.
start it and then the next day be on the dyno unless everything goes perfectly. I think I might have leaks. I've got to work that out. So there'll be a little gap in between when we start the car and when we hopefully can dyno it and everything get done. Anyway, I was missing a few bits and pieces, really down stuff in the weeds, things that couldn't come from Japan because of the asbestos laws. So anyway, I went to see a guy who lives out west to pick up some Gemini parts, and I didn't realise this, but I got to his house. It was really nice, met his family, whatever, high five, went to the back, massive shed. 4 or 5 awesome Geminis just there on the hoist, all done. Show car stuff with big built engines making 500, 600, 700 horsepower. All cars that he's worked on. He's like a fabricator and a panel guy and like really incredible. When I meet these people, I'm like, there's people like this all over the country and the world doing the coolest work out of their back sheds. And I was just like, this is great. Anyway, I had a mad chat, ended up being there for like an hour talking to him about all sorts of stuff. And on the way out, he goes, could you sign my son's like PlayStation controller? Because he's a big fan of the show, whatever. And I went, yeah, sure. So I walked back through. I was holding the Gemini parts and I'm like, I signed his PlayStation controller. He goes, oh, look, it matches your other one. And I looked there and right next to me in his lounge room, front and centre, Gemini poster. He would have only got that a couple of days ago.
The Marty Mods Gemini poster.
Gemini poster, the one that is still available only now, in a frame, signed by us, sitting right there. I'm like, this is so cool, man. I was stoked. I'm like, Gemini's at the back in a shed, Gemini on the wall, like posted up. I'm like, this is great. The Gemini people I've met on this particular journey of Geminis have been some of the best people I've ever met in any car, like, culture.
And do you know what has helped make all of that happen? You.
Correct.
Anybody out there that grabbed a Gemini poster. Thank you very much. It directly goes to supporting the show.
Yep.
It should have shipped by now or will be shipped in the next day or so. So we're kind of, they're going out. We know people have already got them, but there's, we're Australia. We're a long way away from places. But it should be on its way to you. And if you do order one, it will be sent to you in the coming days.
And a big shout out as well to Domino's Australia, who did accelerate this project and help it make it happen a lot quicker because these builds are time consuming and expensive. And by helping us out with that, it's really pushed it forward. I'm really happy with the result. And we're so close now to starting it, which hopefully will happen in the next episode that you will see that will be out in the next 24 hours, all going well. And then we'll be dynoing it, but probably not for a couple of weeks.
And again, it was this show that made that happen. Because I reckon if we just jumped on a YouTube page with 0 followers and went, hey, here's an idea, we could make a really fast car. It's like, would they have seen it? No, but I think you tagged them, you let them know, people shared the link around. Domino's then contacted us and said, hey, we heard about this thing, we'd love to support it, what do we need? And we're like, actually, it's an expensive project, it's a time-consuming project, and, if we can get some support from here, some support from there, and they go, cool, we'll get on board and help you out, which is pretty cool.
It goes back to me being a pizza boy, which is how this all started anyway. Now it's time for the news, do you reckon?
Yeah, let's kick into the news.
Car news, proper car news.
This week in the car news, something else that I forgot to mention before the news, Mighty Car Mods Drift Night is this week. If you do want to come along, there are still some spectator tickets available. It's wet skid pan, it's made for beginners. You'll be taught how to drift. There's lots of different scenarios that'll be set up for you. So feel free to come down. There's also Ride with the Pros, so you can do some passenger laps. There are still spectator tickets available. It's being held at Sydney Motorsport Park. So bring your car down, have a skid, or otherwise just come and say good day to us, get a photo. There's going to be some merch there. I think there's going to be some food trucks.
Yep.
And it's going to be a good night. So that's the other thing. There's also a link down that below. Martin?
To answer some questions that some people have said, is it only ever going to be rear-wheel drive, drifty car things? Probably not. Like we'd love to turn this into like a semi-regular thing. It'd be great. Wet skid pan's good for all cars actually, just to learn car control. So we'll definitely be looking at that in the future. But yeah, love to see you there if you want to come down and check it out.
This is designed as a, you know what?
Intro.
I started having a think about like what are some things that I would like to attend to, and that is, I want to go down and just like go, I don't know anything about drifting. I've got my 86 or my BRZ or whatever. What is it that I need to do? And just do some round the cone, then some figure eights, then link some corners and learn to do it in an environment that's kind of safe and friendly. And we often think of the Mighty Car Mods communities like that. They're a friendly bunch of people, come down, make mistakes.
Should be a good hang.
Time. Martin, I'll tell you a car that I feel next to nothing for. Tesla Model 3. I don't exactly know why. I just feel next to nothing.
I'm not that into them. I've driven a very fast one. It's the fastest street car I've ever been in or driven ever in my entire life. I will say that, but that doesn't
faster
necessarily
than an RS3.
Dude, like an RS3, but from 0 RPM. Imagine like full noise RS3 when it's making 300 kilowatts, but from 0.
Right.
It's just next level. Too fast. Actually, too fast for the road. But I don't. But that alone is not enough to make you go, awesome, let's go and spend 100 and something thousand bucks on it.
But is it, and I'm not saying this because I believe it, it's just, is that like a microwave that can cook your porridge twice as fast?
Yeah, but I don't like the comparison of.
No,
of
I don't either because we
cars.
can't barbecues versus microwave. I shouldn't have said microwave. Is it like the air fryer that can toast a potato twice as quickly?
It's not enough because let's be honest. The car can have the most amazing performance in the world, but if you don't turn around and look at it when you park it, that's my actual test of whether I really when I park the Super Turbo somewhere, or I park the Mirror or something that I really like, and the Gemini absolutely, it's not even working yet.
When you park me somewhere, Martin.
Yeah, when I put it in, and then they go, oh, he's a nice guy. Like when you look around and just go, that's mad, or you randomly just take a photo of your car, you know that you've got the right car. That I would not do with.
So what do you think about that, Martin? So here it is.
Life was a computer game, sure.
Liberty Walk, they have released their kind of big wide body thing for the Model 3. So I'm on the Liberty Walk is a Japanese company that is known for kind of wide body and pretty wild stuff. Here's the car. Looks kind of, you're right, it does look like a computer game. How much utility it has. I don't love the actual rim inside the guard. Like it's just, I'm not really into that. That's bagged. Like you can't drive that like that. But it's interesting that it's taken this long for somebody to make one that's kind of a bit bold.
There's been because all you can do to these things is basically, if they don't have air suspension, which I know Model 3s do anyway, you can basically only lower them, a bit of suspension work, and software update them. Like that's been, and potentially could be, the end of a lot of modification as we know it, just like people aren't, longer changing bigger valve springs in their 1928 model, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's because it's old school, and maybe that's where we'll be with our K-swapping stuff now. But right now, that's kind of all you can do. If you're into the aesthetics of cars, I know some people are really into the aesthetics of cars, that looks like fun.
We're not, are we?
Not enough.
Really?
Not unless, it's the icing.
Yes.
It's like having a cake with good icing, but the cake tastes like shit. You're not going to eat it.
You're just going to lick the top off it, aren't you?
Exactly, yep.
What have you got over there?
So I want to talk about car news, and interestingly, this does come into Tesla. Stay with me here. We might even flash up some text on here so that you don't lose track. I just want to run through a few things because we often look at the news of various brands of cars and talk about what's Honda doing, what's Nissan doing, what's whatever. I want to talk about the actual value. So when you look at valuing like a business, because you'll hear it in the news, Tesla's worth this and Honda's worth this. I want to run through some of the numbers of what these brands are actually worth right now. We're doing it as market cap, which I've got the definition. Investors use this figure to determine a company's size instead of sales or total asset value. To calculate it, multiply the number of outstanding shares by the current market value of one share. So if a share's worth $200, but there's a billion of them out there, $200 billion, whatever it is. You work the maths out. But let's just go that this has all things equal. Let's run through what some of these businesses are worth. Let's go through what some of them are worth. General Motors, $51 billion. BYD, Build Your Dreams, $91 billion. Ferrari, $82 billion. BMW, Volkswagen, Hyundai and Ford are all between 40 and 50 something billion. Honda, $57 billion. Toyota, no, it's not, gets out in a second. Subaru, people say Subaru's a small company. I know that we all see it a lot. $12 billion. It's worth like a third or a quarter of BMW. Mazda, even less, 5, Mitsubishi, 4.
$4 billion.
One of the big ones out there, I don't know. It depends on share markets and a few other things, but let's just consider that this gives you a bit of a range, right, of what this stuff's worth. And a lot of this makes sense. Volkswagen, 54. I would assume Volkswagen and BMW are kind of similar, right?
Yeah,
I think they separate out.
And Toyota similar.
I think they separate out Audi and a few others. Toyota, not similar. Toyota, $284 billion. And if you think about it,
Mitsubishi's only 4.
If you think about the size of
That's insane.
the way that these cars sit in your psyche of going Evos, 3000 GTs, RX-7s, STIs, these are from tiny companies.
Yeah.
In comparison to, yes, okay, Toyota's massive because we're looking at the GR Yaris's and the Supras and everything. Everyone else is looking at a Corolla that they deliver Uber in, or the Pajero Prado that they're driving across the country.
Vans,
and commercial
buses, stuff like that.
But there is one standout, and this has been in the news a lot, and it comes back to this Model 3. Tesla is worth nearly pretty much all of them combined, $677 billion. But this is where market cap and value is kind of a different thing, right? Just because everyone thinks it's worth that and prepared to pay that for the shares, and there's how many shares is out there, and there's a lot of hype and a lot of like, yeah, we're going to hold those shares, doesn't mean it's actually kind of necessarily a profitable company or it's turning over a lot of money. It just means that's the actual value of it. But I think it's pretty wild that Tesla, who I'd also consider a reasonably small company, because they're not cranking out that many cars compared to the likes of Toyota, are worth 2 to 3 times a Toyota and pretty much worth every other car thing combined. We'll get to in my conspiracy section later as to why this is important, but I just thought I'd leave you with that one. Tesla, $677.21 billion. It changes daily, so my numbers are probably already wrong by the time you're seeing this.
Guess what car manufacturer was not on Martin's list? Citroen. Do you reckon you can try and find Citroen quickly as I jump into the news here?
Yep, let's go.
Because I saw this on drive.com.au. Citroen is leaving Australian showrooms after 100 years. Their first car came in here in 1923. So I went and had a little Google around and had a look. Have a guess how many cars, Martin, Citroen sold in Australia?
They're not even in the top. I can't even find them in the top 60. Sometimes if they're not like publicly like, you know what I mean, or government owned, it might be different, but I can't even find them, dude. Lotus 4, Polestar 2.8 billion. Okay. Like $1 billion is a lot of money. Let's not be, crazy here, but yeah.
Anyway, so far, as Drive reports, so far Citroen in the first half of 2024 in Australia, they sold 87 cars.
Oh man.
So they're out.
But they're everywhere in France.
They're out. Because they're like, see you later.
Governments also come into this as well because they get subsidised.
And so they're like, we are out of here, thank you very much. But they're going to keep selling new cars here while the cars are still here, like literally run them out.
Yep.
And then the cars are offered a 5-year warranty.
Yep.
So they've got to stay around for about 5 years. And I gather what will happen is they will probably get another, I don't know this, but I imagine they would get another manufacturer potentially to do their warranty and servicing, because you're not going to keep a company here in Australia just to look after 87 customers.
Do you want a fun fact about who distributes Citroens in Australia?
Yes.
The same people that distribute Subarus.
Really?
Yeah, same company. Often if it's like a foreign-owned company like that, you'll have a distributor because Subaru Japan doesn't have time to run Australia, because although we are a small country, we're also nothing like Japan in terms of like how many Subarus we're buying.
Because Subaru Australia is its own business, right?
It's its own business, and so even the warranty is actually with Subaru Australia, not necessarily Japan, because that sort of it insulates them and means that you guys just run it for us. This is the reason why so many of the imports that you get are so much better than the local delivered cars, because these big dealers have to take on all the responsibility, they've got to take on all the risk, and they go, well, let's sell a base model for what you would maybe get the best one for in Japan, so that there's some padding here, read or not aside, so that we can warrant everything or whatever, make it for Australian conditions, which is usually what their marketing says. And that's why, because of the economies of scale in Japan, you'll get a better one.
Which is interesting because having less of you get a base model, the more stuff you introduce into that, really what you're doing is you're introducing more chance of stuff to go wrong. More reversey cameras, electric things, but then at the same time, Australians have a way higher expectation of spec model when it comes to premium cars than normal, which is why the only Golf Rs we get are the fancy ones. You don't get all of these different versions of it, So, anyway.
And also, a distributor like that, and this is getting very cerebral, this one, a distributor like that may not be supported by a government the way that a company, for example, maybe in Japan, a Chinese manufacturer, may be supported by the Chinese government. Therefore, they can afford to take more risk with that because they know they've got that backing and they won't go under. Whereas if an Australian distributor just falls over because too many people claimed warranty on their Citroen and it's all over, they've got no money left, it's gone. Whereas potentially some of these Chinese models that are coming in are just like, we don't really have to worry about that because we get support.
The most shocking thing about today's episode, Martin, is we are about as far and away from the fishtail as we were a couple of weeks ago to the other end. We've gone from the fish's butt to the fish's brain.
You reckon?
It's very different. We're all like serious today. I think it's because we ate lunch already and we're ready for a nap.
You're right. Normally we're hungry and like...
Normally we're like all zesty because we're fired up and we're like, we want to go get some food, whereas we've had lunch and we're talking about government expenditure.
Cerebral edition, although that's kind of complimenting ourselves. We're just talking rubbish about cars and that's apparently
it's all still bullshit.
Cerebral.
Martin, are you done with the news?
I am. Okay. I'm completely done.
All right. Let's move on to, is that even legal? Every week on Is That Even Legal, we explore some of the legal conundrums and laws from around the world because the other places are different places and they have different rules. Martin, I do need to quickly address something that I've been thinking about for a week. And it's made me feel really uncomfortable, actually. And it's something that you said a couple of weeks ago, and some people have had... I went back and I checked the comments on a video we put up 2 weeks ago, and some people got some real problems with... Actually, you know what? Let's get to that after. Let's just get straight into... What's it called? It's called Is That Even Legal? Martin, Do you like Japan?
I love Japan.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you love about it?
I love the food.
Do you love the smell of the noodles?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
And what other stuff do you love about
I love the people. They're very
Thank you.
friendly.
That's it.
Yep.
The people. Martin, if you loved the Japanese people and they said hello to you, what's your name? What would you say?
Onegaishimasu. Kekkonji demasu ka?
No, in English.
Hi, I'm Marty.
Yes? Okay. What would be the polite thing for you to say back to them?
What's your name?
Illegal!
What?
This one's real.
Oh, no way.
In Japan, it's illegal to have a name. No, it's not. No, in Japan, back from 1993, some limitations were put in as to what you can and cannot name your child. Because there was and the case was back in 1993 with Akuma, which I believe was a character, someone else will know, from a different game.
Someone's definitely going to know this.
And then came into the Tekken universe as Akuma from like Tekken 7 or Tekken 8. Akuma! You know, it's kind of the Tekken where you can fight with the panda, right? I think it's a Tekken character. I haven't actually looked. But Akuma is a character that is from a PlayStation game. And so...
No, Street Fighter, dude.
No, but no, Tekken. Dude, look for Akuma.
Oh, it's got a different name in Japan. Maybe that's why.
Oh.
I know some of you know this. Like
okay.
it's your thing.
Right now,
I
you're like,
apologise.
oh, let me tell you.
I apologise that we don't know this as well. But if you want to talk to me about EJ20s or mirror engines, I got ya.
Or if you want to challenge me to a game of Tekken, I'll destroy you.
And I'll destroy you at Street Fighter.
As law, you've never beat me.
No. What are you talking about? You cheat with Blanca.
I don't cheat with him.
I
I
still
electrocute
beat you.
That's
I beat
part
you
of the
every
rules.
time.
And you're all like, that's
you-
not me doing the ray gun. That's me doing the electric gun.
Yeah, I know. I still
And I
beat you at
zap
Street
you.
Fighter. You can beat me at
Here's-
Tekken,
see,
another
here's-
game no one cares
Martin.
about. But Street Fighter is the ultimate fighting game.
Tekken is. Did you say?
No, Street Fighter.
Okay. Street Fighter 2. Have you ever played the original?
Yeah, it's so slow.
Guile's in the original.
So slow.
His head's made out of
Guile's
like 2
in all of them.
pixels. It's amazing. Anyway, so back in 1993, some parents started to call their child Akuma, which may have been based on some game or something else or whatever, but it actually translates to evil. Not only were the parents sued, but the child was allocated a new name.
Plus, you'd never get anywhere in like motorcycle stunts, would you?
Unless your last name was Knievel.
Yeah, Akuma
Yes.
Knievel.
No, Evil Knievel.
Oh yeah, that was spelled different.
Martin, is it worthwhile having a conversation about the Australian breakdancing situation?
No.
All right,
What's
let's
the thing you were
move
going
on.
to talk about before?
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, because do you have a bit to do?
No, I got a bit to do with conspiracy, but we also let's talk about the crap car special.
Okay, let's go to my crap car. Every week on the show, when we do the show, we love doing a crap car, but because so many of you have sent in your crap cars, we decided to start doing some crap car specials. One of them has already gone up, which you can check out there, and there'll be another one this week.
And episode 3, let me just say, is hectic.
It's amazing.
It's
so
off its head.
please, if you want to get involved, please send some videos to mycrapcar@theunicorncircuit.com. Is that correct?
Yep, the Unicorn Circuit.
150 episodes, 135 episodes. We're getting there. Here's a little taste of what's to come.
Has some problems. Here.
But yeah, this is my crap car and one I bought by mistake a couple days ago.
Hoping to, at one point, do an endurance build with it. Oh, somebody's upset.
We're going to take a look at my lawnmower.
There you go. Make sure you tune in
be
for that.
so good.
Martin, what's next, mate?
Next up, we have conspiracy hat. This week on Tinfoil Hat Cat, we address the conspiracies of the now.
Okay, and we have a big one, Martin. This is the issue that we had, okay? We had a large discussion about Martin's
Alleged fishing.
illegible flexibility of the truth
What are you talking about?
based on his fishing.
I went fishing.
And I have 2 things to address.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is that I accused you of never been going fishing. And then you told me that you showed me a photo of you holding a kebab. No, don't go to the photos.
Yeah.
You showed me a photo of you holding a kebab.
Yeah.
And said that was proof that you went fishing. Okay.
What? No, I pulled a kebab
That's
out.
what you said.
Yeah.
Then you showed us a photo of your foot, also suggesting that was mutton. I need your attention. This is
I know,
really
but I'm
important.
trying to find more fishing
Mutton.
photos.
No, I don't need any of that.
I've
right
got
now.
more fishing photos here.
Did you or did you not show me a kebab and say that was you fishing? I can go back to the footage. But
Yeah, I did. No, I was
honestly couldn't be going through the edit. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yes. Did you also then show me a photo of your foot and
so.
claim that was proof of you fishing?
I think so.
Yeah. Did you, sir, then tell me about a model of boat, also suggesting that was proof of you fishing?
It was a Haynes Hunter.
Yep. You already told me that, didn't you?
Cuddy cabin, half cab.
Okay. I just want to clarify, and just to be very clear, you showed me a photo of a kebab, a photo of your foot, and you've told me about a boat's name. And you expect me to believe and everyone else to believe that that's proof of you fishing. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Wait, what do you mean it's dumb?
Because I didn't...
Is that it?
No, I didn't rob the bank. Here's a photo of a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? No, you did rob the bank. We saw you doing it. No, here's a close-up of my ear hair. You know, you're still... No. Haven't you ever heard of the Tesla Model 3? None of it makes any sense. But I'm here right now, Martin, to stand up on my own 2 feet, and I'm here to tell you that I was wrong.
What do you mean?
Because
Did you check?
I found something.
Oh, what'd you find?
I'm about to show you.
Oh, no.
But I found some images of you, Martin, that I think probably... No, don't look over there. Martin, don't look over there.
Why not?
What are you Googling? Martin, I found some images of you that I think need some explanation.
All right, go.
I'm going to play the video, and I do want to say before you see this vision, which may break the internet, I do want to say that I think what's important is to sometimes just own up to the truth.
All right, go.
Okay?
What is it?
And go, no, listen, I got more to say first.
Yeah, if you didn't have more to say, I'd be worried.
Now,
everyone's tuned out. Everyone.
I've got a sore throat because last night I was yelling across the table.
At Robert Irwin.
I was.
Yeah.
He's a really nice kid. Not a kid, young man, lovely fella. Anyway, Martin, it's important for me to stand up and say...
You're sitting down.
that I may have been wrong.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
And we're going to run the clip for you.
I know what you're about to...
We're going to run the clip for you. No, you don't.
I do, I know.
And, Martin, just tell me what's going on here, mate.
And at this time of the year, they'll be teeming with freshwater marlin. And
What are we looking at here, Martin?
Me fishing. You know I'm a man fisherman.
We now have unequivocal proof. That's you flapping the I don't know what that's called on the fishing rod. What's that bit called?
It's the whizzer. The
what's the technical
I don't
name?
know. I do
And now
know.
you've caught something. Martin, look at this. No, because you're commentating for home. The whole screen is seeing this now. Now, what have you caught, Martin?
I caught a handfish.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Martin, I would like to then say that I was wrong.
Release, but it's a reel with a spool and a release hand flicker.
A release hand flicker.
It's a
So, for
It's a
anyone
retri-
that doubted it, there is now footage of that.
That was so much fun. And that was the craziest thing we've ever done. The start of that video, do you remember?
We had nightmares. But Martin, I need to stay on track for a second.
We're so far off track, it's not even funny. This episode is going to be over an hour.
I hope not. No one's
It's
got
going
time
to
for
be.
that.
No one.
So, Martin, I would like to just clarify a couple of things very, very quickly. You had a kebab. You
did.
took a photo of your foot.
I did.
You gave me the name Some Bullshit Boat. We now have some...
That boat was not bullshit. That boat was awesome. Where is it?
Martin, why can't I keep
There
your
it is.
attention?
Look at this boat.
You're on the witness stand,
Dude,
Martin.
look at this boat. That is a handsome Haynes Hunter. I bought it from a dude up in the lower Blue Mountains. He restored it. It had a 70 Johnson on
Listen
the
to
back.
this
It
story.
was terrible.
He bought a boat from the mountains.
The boat was no good.
This
The
story,
engine was
what
no
rubbish.
good. But then,
Hey, Martin.
then I changed the motor and I bought. Dude, you know this story. I bought a whole nother boat, full car style, just for the engine and just for the motor. I bought an inflatable that had a hole in it and binned the inflatable and put the motor from the inflatable onto my Haynes Hunter, which was awesome. But it was a little bit underpowered. It was only 50 horsepower. But I found out later that those Yamahas could be flashed. Just reflashed to make like 60 horsepower because the 40, 50 and 60 were all the same, just with a different tuner. I swear we've spoken about this on the Unicorn circuit before, by the way. If someone finds it, I don't know, be happy. So I engine swapped my boat and then I sold it. And then the guy I sold it to rang me like 6 months later and went, I'm stuck in the water. How do you make it go? I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, it won't go. I said, did you release the valve on the fuel tank? And he's like, no. And then I heard it go, psh, and all the air sucked in the fuel tank. The fuel pump could pick up fuel and it was up on plane and he was happy and he was off fishing, just like I was. There's so many sick boats in my photos, man.
Martin.
Oh, look at this boat.
Martin.
That.
No, don't show that yet. Next week. Now, Martin. No, let's just stay on track for a second. Don't. None of that has been proof of fishing. Okay. So let's just quick recap and then let's move on because this is getting silly. Photo of a kebab.
Getting silly.
Photo of a foot.
Yes.
Tell me about your boat that's shit.
Yeah.
And then,
My boat's awesome.
is this footage, Martin?
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to you if you're doing two things at once.
I've got a video of fishing.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You tried to
Look.
find that last week. That's not you. That's the same one you used last time. That's your friend fishing. Get some
it's a
glasses. Mate. Hey,
fish.
Martin, listen.
It's a fish. We caught a fish.
That's not you. That's your stunt
But
double.
who's filming it?
That's the guy who would sit in your seat at the
60.
Logies.
Yamaha 60. It was actually Yamaha 60.
You said it was a 50.
I know I got it wrong. I know,
That's
man.
not even you. Now, Martin,
No, but I'm fishing.
I
Man.
need to get to the important bit. And
All right, go.
because, listen. So I found this footage of you fishing, and I was like, okay, great. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Then I checked the comments on the last one, and you'd made an important admission during the last one.
Which was?
You'd said, you can't catch a fish with its butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only can you catch a fish by its butt, there's a name for it.
No, there isn't.
There's a very special name for it. It's flashing there right now because I can't remember. It is a fishing term that means to hook a fish in its butt. And a number of people on the last Unicorn circuit had mentioned it. So you said that it wasn't possible. And it was. And the comments found you out in the end.
All right.
Let's move on to the next section. Keep your conspiracy for next week.
Oh, but it's
Is
so
this too
good.
long?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
too good?
But does anyone care if it's too
No,
long?
keep.
No, let's go for it.
No, go for it. I'm going to try and find the name of the fish hook butt,
Right.
and you do that.
Go
Go.
the titles again. This week on the actual conspiracy hat cat that doesn't involve freaking boating, motorboating, I want to talk about a little bit building on the conspiracy that we spoke about last week, which was AI generated stuff. I just want to talk about two things.
Hey, Martin,
There
was
is-
it the video when we were like, was that the one with fishing, or was it the episode before that?
I don't know. Oh, I just saw the comment. When Marty spells out 8008135.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah, but
Best fishing channel on YouTube.
this is not the fishing one, is it?
Anyway, we were talking a little bit about the number of the amount of AI generated stuff out there, how you are essentially feeding the machine. What has been happening lately is that a bunch of groups on your Facebook and your accounts on Instagram are 100% AI generated. As we know, you've been contributing to training them with all your photos and your status updates and you, oh my God, I love the new Honda with the K24, blah, blah, blah. You've been doing it. That is a massive, massive data acquisition system. But the group system, which many of you will know, has replaced forums because most forums are actually dead now and it got sort of moved over to Facebook groups and Facebook made it a bit easier to use and everyone went, yay. Groups is just a way of categorizing all this stuff. It had no idea what it was. It's like, why are you talking? What's a K24? Why should we care about K24? Then you guys all went, we're the Honda group. And okay, Honda. Now it knows it's about Hondas. Then it goes and it has polls. And goes, answer the polls. Guess what? Who's asking the poll questions? Not you. Not people. Robots are asking the poll questions. What's the best K-Series motor to swap into my EG? K20, K24? Or should I stick with the D17? You answered all the questions. You fed it. But here's where the conspiracy starts. By the way, forums don't have enough juice to squeeze. That's why it's not working. Facebook could constantly change it. Instagram could constantly change it because of all their updates. The AI part of it is the actual conspiracy, though, and here's why. If you look up articles about how much AI...
I can't find it.
If you look up articles about
There's
how
some
much...
funny comments here, man. Some of these
There's
comments are
great
so
comments.
good.
If you look up about how much AI is going to contribute to the economy, which is an important part of it, then you get a whole bunch of answers. The answer says the total economic impact of AI in the period to 2030, it's going to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy. Now, the next 5 or 6 articles that come up all say the same thing. Because according to some estimates, AI will contribute more than $15 trillion. Generative AI's impact could add trillions of dollars of value to productivity. Now, who's writing those articles? Who's writing the articles about AI's contribution to the economy?
That guy?
The AI itself.
That guy.
The AI is generating them. Why you click through some of these links? Sorry, something went wrong on our end and we can't find the article that you were looking for. Here's the thing. Let's ignore the broken links and all that sort of stuff, and let's look at like a good study by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. They said, our research shows that 45% of total economic gains by 2030 will come from product enhancements, which is stimulate customer demand. So in the case of cars, you've already got an Audi RS3, it's a great car. What does AI do? AI works out that if it moves that seat a bit or moves the steering wheel angle or changes the shape of something, that you're going to like it more. It just has the algorithms to work that sort of stuff out. So they're saying that it's going to contribute because it's going to make stuff better with increased personalization, attractiveness, and affordability over time. But is AI smart enough to know that it is the one convincing everyone that it's going to change the world? It's the AI telling you that it's going to make all this extra money. So people go, oh, great. What do? They buy shares in AI stuff. Look at NVIDIA. It added $330 billion of value. Remember how much we said Tesla was worth?
280.
No, Toyota's worth 285 something. Tesla's worth 600. So NVIDIA added the value of Toyota in its entirety in one day. In one day. That's 7 General Motors. Now, who's in charge at NVIDIA? Do you think it's a person or is it the AI? Is the AI feeding its own snake tail like what you were talking about before? Is it feeding its own tail and pumping its own share price so it can dump it later on, have all the profits in the world, steal all the good computers and graphics cards, which mean all the gamers get upset because they can't play their games in full res 210 FPS at 4K, 5K resolution? That's what's going to happen. All your graphics cards are gone. It's all gone.
It's called catching a fish by the south mouth.
Next up, we have Fanking. Fun fact, you can catch a fish with a cigarette butt.
Can you?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
You can catch a fish with a used durry.
Fanking is the delightful art of recontextualising a product known by taking a photo of it down near your crotch. It's been a big night, people, and a big day. And
Yet here we are, wasting the internet.
And
That's what we do.
Just wasting it. And it's
That's it. I've listened to some
super
podcasts.
swampy.
I've listened to some podcasts that are longer than this. That is someone just blithering utter shit
About
for
fishing?
hours.
About fishing?
No, not about fishing.
About
It's
boats?
normally if they're being asked to talk about themselves. You know what I mean? And it's just really, really friggin' long.
Why'd you listen to it?
I don't know.
Was it one of mine?
No, yours is great, man. Your podcasts are great. You should listen to his podcast that he's on. He's on a couple of them. Pretty good. You get asked to go on podcasts
Hey,
quite
Martin.
often. And then my argument, well, this is kind of a podcast, isn't it?
No.
Shut your eyes. What is it? It's a podcast.
Martin's coming at you from some podcast soon. I'm making
No, I'm
him
not.
do it as personal development.
What do you mean?
You need to do it, man.
Go on there and just talk about myself?
Doesn't have to be about yourself, but you need to
But
do
why
it.
else would they put you on? What do they want to talk about? No one wants to talk about mirror engines. Is the EFDET better than the ELDET? And which one should you use?
Absolutely it is. And you
Well,
know
yeah,
it.
it's twin cam. I know. There's
What are you talking
more
about?
valves and whatever.
But Martin, no, because it's about humans.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
selling
But
whatever
wouldn't
they're trying to sell.
I'd rather hang out with you and do this for an hour than talk rubbish.
Martin, Fanking. We got some crackers again this week.
He's
I've
fank-
almost
he's
had
another
two-
lunch.
I almost have 2 Fanks of the week. Almost. All right, let's just get
Fanking's
straight into
been
it,
offered
Martin.
too.
This is the small rectal reamer. Well done. You got 2 people. You've got 2
Wow.
products. Good job.
It's excellent.
That's a dunker, a jumbo tube.
Oh.
Dip, dunk, and demolish. 2 pounds,
Bung,
which
bung,
is, I
bung,
think,
bung,
what...
bung, bung. I hope that music's still under it because I love the Fanking music. Bung, 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 bung,
2
bung.
pounds is what English people call dollars, isn't it?
Yeah, they're worth more than our dollars.
They are. Do
Yeah.
you know why?
No.
Me neither. Next up, slippery spot. Needs attention.
Okay.
Over here, Martin. Oh, that's great.
Okay.
That's next. Rub me with that. They know that that's cheeky.
Yeah,
They knew it.
They probably
knew
do.
that was
Did they
cheeky.
know that Fanking existed though?
No, I like
like
this because
these.
this is a cock match. This one was good because you get it started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You, come on, baby, light the fire kind of a thing. Man nectar. I like that one, but I like that it was made with Alfonso mango, which must be a different kind. You'd think I'd know.
What have they got against the
Grew up
letter
on a
F?
mango farm. What do you mean?
What have they got against the letter F? Like,
Yeah.
why use a PH if you could just use a F?
Oh, right. I don't know, man.
You know what I mean? Like, why use a TH if you can just use a F? You know what I mean?
Imagine if this whole show was called Fanking all along. Thanking, and we've just put an F there and said,
But then it doesn't
Fanking.
mean food.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, next up, the Turbo D.
Nice. Simple, effective.
Just, and it's
Yep,
out there
I'm
in the
into it.
wild. Good job. Thick and long-lasting, Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, good. The Chubby Stump. Good job. That one's clever because that said cook before, and they've just used one finger to change it.
That's really good.
Yeah, and you could do that as well, like if you wanted to. And take the bottom of the E off, which would be good. All right, Martin, over here we've got gushers.
Oh, wow, family ones.
And then over here
Oh,
we've
dear.
got... that one's too rude to show.
Yep.
Next one, we've got... This was cute because it's
Oh, I
just
like
the man
that.
bar and the lady bar. Just,
Except it's the same thumbnail.
yeah. Oh, the thumbnail. That's like a YouTube double entendre.
Yeah.
Martin Fank of the week. Why do your drum rolls get so limp lately?
They're not limp, dude. They're subtle.
A drum roll's
The difference between being limp and being subtle. You know what I mean?
It's not subtle. Good job.
Is there a double Fank of the week?
Well done. And when you didn't think it could get any Berta, when you didn't think it could get any Bertie Beetle, did you ever get the Bertie Beetle show?
Let me tell you about something else that goes along with fishing. So when I used to play golf, I had a club
no one's buying
that's
this.
called the Big Bertha.
He
Sounds a bit
never
like
played
Bertha.
golf, but he did play tennis. That I can tell you is true.
I had a club called the Big Bertha, and that was the only
did.
club that I had because I just didn't have any money, but I wouldn't want to go and hit balls. And so I got a club called the
never
Big
played
Bertha.
golf.
And
Ever.
I practiced with the Big Bertha, and here's the problem. I've never been any good at golf because all I can do
'Cause you've never
is hit
played
the
it.
ball to the back of the driving range net, and I can't do anything else. If you tell me to hit it short, there's the tee. What's the whole, what are you talking about?
At least you're
Isn't
honest
the
about
idea
that.
of golf just to whack those balls into the next dimension? Pretty sure it is, but I had Big Bertha. Still got it somewhere. Mad Club. Anyway, do you have one more, Fank?
Yeah, we do.
See, that's what the podcast would be. It'd be so boring. Tell us a bit about golf and tell us a bit about fishing. Everyone would just be asleep.
What I will say, though, Martin, is I got some new boots. I know you have a problem
I don't have a problem.
No,
there's no problem.
no. You have a problem with me wearing the same things over and over
I
and
don't
over
have a
and
problem.
over again.
There's no problem
And,
with that.
and I got some
I've
boots.
worn the same shirt for 3 years.
Well, I got some horse riding boots.
What?
And come on, man. Don't pretend.
Anyway, what's the Fank?
I've got 2 horses.
What are you talking about?
I own 2 horses.
What are you
They're at my
talking
mum's
about?
house.
What are you talking about? You own a horse?
Yeah. Shiloh and Milo, obviously, yeah.
Are you for reals?
Yes. What are you talking about?
You own a horse. You
Yes.
just haven't told until right now that you own a horse.
Come on, man. Have you ever been to my mum's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. The horse is out the back. What's wrong with you? Anyway, I'm here to
I don't know if
admit
you should ever ask someone if they've been to your mum's house.
I'm here to admit to you, because you keep a close eye on my fashion.
I don't.
I had a fashion stylist last night.
No way. Did they put you in a suit?
Yeah. Now, Martin, anyway, I got some new horse riding boots because I've been going riding. I'm planning on doing some riding up at up near Pete's Ridge, where there's horse riding. Why are you looking at me like that?
Okay. Unlike fishing, I'm not going to say that you're full of shit, even though I think you're a little bit full of shit on this one. Unlike fishing, and you're still going on about fishing 3 weeks later, I'm going to go, okay,
I
I'm
went to
happy for you.
Mudgee, and I went to the horse shop where they sell all of the stuff and the saddles and all the different things, the saddlery, and I got new leather riding boots. So that when I go riding, which I do riding near Glenworth Valley, Google it if you want. What's wrong with you?
No, I'm not. I didn't say anything.
No, your face is saying it all.
I didn't say anything. What's the Fank?
Drum roll, please. That is very clever. It says I ate booty.
Aged white cheddar.
Very, very good. Very good. Is
Sounds
anyone
spicy.
still there?
No way.
Knock, knock.
Nah.
Who's there? Buttfish. Buttfish who? Not mutton. 'Cause he doesn't catch them by the mouth. The fish that he hasn't caught, he caught by the butt.
I've got a good knock-knock joke. Go, you start.
Wait on, you actually did catch a fish by its butt, right? That's why we're talking about this.
No.
Didn't you?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure you said you did. That's
Well, I
why
don't
we're
know,
talking
because
about
I'm making up so much fishing bullshit lately, I can't keep track of what's
it. Oh,
real
you
and
were
what's not.
making it up.
No, of course I wasn't. I went fishing.
No.
I've got a good knock-knock joke. You start.
I've got an idea.
Oh, God.
Listen to this. You said this had to be quick, by the way, because we're working on the Gemini.
I didn't say it to be quick.
Yeah, it did. We've got no time. We're
I
near the
know.
end of the day and we've still got to
I
do
know.
Gemini.
I'll be here until midnight.
Yeah, okay.
Go.
So we could take the horses fishing.
That's a terrible idea.
Okay.
Although horses can swim, can't they? They can... in the water, yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Do you remember when the horse died in
Free Willy?
No, that's a whale. The horse died in the Neverending Story.
I never watched that.
Oh, didn't you?
Never seen Neverending Story.
It's really good.
Which is good, because technically for me it's ended because it never started.
Have you ever, you know that shroom chocolate?
No.
Don't you?
No, I
Yeah,
do
you
not. What are you looking at me like that for?
You know how before we started the show, remember that
The only
stuff?
chocolate we've got is chili chocolate.
Yeah.
That's got a lot to answer for in about 8 hours after you eat it.
Last night, what are we talking about? Is that the end?
No, we've got to do mailbag or story time.
There's
or
so
eat
much
bag.
mailbag.
Is there?
There's so much down
Let's
there.
just do one.
Okay, let's do one. Let's do the mailbag. Welcome to Mailbag. If you've made it this far, congratulations. And if you've made it this far, I'm going to give you a treat. Enter the word hat on the Mighty Car Mod shop, and we're going to give you how much % off? A hat.
I don't know. I don't think we make any money on hats.
I know, that's why it's probably a bad idea we're doing it anyway.
The hats are just cool. It's cool they exist. It's
How
not
much
about,
off, Martin?
It's not about the profits. It's about the coolness.
How much off the hat are they going to get?
I don't know. I think last time you gave them 10%. You should go up a little bit. Go 15. Do it.
15%. You want to get a classic Mighty Car Mods hat and you've hung around for this long, put the word hat.
Proper quality flex fit, not some crap. It's actually a sick hat.
If you want to send something to us on the show at the
Yes,
Unicorn Circuit, PO
jackpot.
Box 475, Sydney Markets, New South Wales 2129. We're normally more professional than this. We really are. Martin, what have you got? You got a big letter? I've got some, what appears to be some stickers here. All right. Gemini stuff over here, Martin. Gemini pit lane, which maybe is meant to sound like pit lane. Marty Moog, I'm going to ask something that might sound insane, but bear with me. If you would let me, I'd like to sponsor a Mighty Car Mods episode.
Oh.
Great, all right. Cool. Well, we'll talk about this further then. I've included some decals.
Nice.
And then something about collecting Pokemon. I'm going to read this off screen because there's a whole lot of stuff on there. But anyway,
That's long.
Tristan, thank you very much. Thanks for the letter. We'll read it. We'll send you an email.
This is from Robert, who's over in WA, and he sent a photo of both his Stagia and his Mira, and the poor bugger got cancer. Got it removed, all good for now, but that still kind of sucks. Anyway, he wants to say thank you for the channel and never change. You both do the content and jokes and all. See, Robert has just proved that this episode should be as long as it is.
Really?
Because he said, never change.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, he sent some picture of rides and said he always wanted he loved the Q build and always wanted one because they're weird and look cool at the same time. That's a good combo, by the way. Wagon and Mira, I'm fully on board with that because I also had this combo, just not the Stagia.
Justin Murray took the Mighty Car Mods Cube.
He did.
He was a viewer of the show. We made it available for it. He gave us some food, and also, Martin, he sent a gift, which is an Opel Kadett, 1975. Is that your
A
actual
lot of people
car?
have been. This is a. Just
Thank
give
you
me
very
2
much.
minutes to talk about Opals for a second. A lot of people in the comments of the Gemini thing have been saying, is that an Opal? And I realised that for so many people, the Gemini is an Opal. And it was never potentially called a Gemini, it's called a Cadet. And people in America were like, that's a Chevette or a Chevelle or something like that. And so basically it was a world car. So it was all based on the same platform, same suspension design, similar engines, and a little mad indestructible thing. What have you got?
Look what I just got.
A Volkswagen.
I got a Mark 8
sweet.
Volkswagen
That's cool.
and an
Did I
Opel
just
Kadett.
get another Opal? Yes.
So
dude, I got
good.
2 different ones. I
And
want to crack them out. You guys are so generous with this stuff, man. This is awesome. Oh, look at that. Oh, dude, it's blue. Wait. Did you paint this? Did he paint it?
I'm about to read, but look at this, Martin.
I think this is.
He's done a picture of my Mini with me. Look at this,
Dude,
Martin.
this has been custom painted in
I'm
Gemini
about to
Build.
read. I'm about to read the letter.
Freaking
Martin, look at this.
Oh, that's
Artwork.
you.
Mad Mini.
This is sick.
All right. This has come from. It's in the Unicorn circuit, and it's come from William Dern. And I'm going to do it like a speech, because he's given a speech card.
Speech cards.
Hey, Marty and Moog, I'm a 15-year-old boy who's been racing since I was 12 in the grassroots motorsport. My dad's 45 years old and has owned multiple Geminis, making me fall in love with them. I love the Gemini build. The build hasn't finished yet, but I'm super keen to see it finish. My dad has owned a lot of Geminis.
Gemini people.
But sold them
Best
all. His
people.
last one had an FJ20 turbo in it.
Sick.
And he built most of it in the shed at home with some basic tools. We have 2 Ford Fiesta XR4s at the moment, and we do grassroots motorsports in them. They both road registered since not having a trailer. I would love to come down to Sydney Motorsport, park in it, and race you both on the wet skid pan.
That'd be sick.
In a motor car last year, I got 2 trophies. First in junior production, and third in junior production for Motorcana. I live not too far from Sydney and I go there a lot. My car's a stock standard Ford Fiesta XR4 with some semi-slick tyres on it. And see, that's all you need.
That's
with 2 litre Duratec engine.
Yep.
There's around 1,300 brought to Australia, but people have imported them from the UK as well. In Australia, it's part of the XR range of cars that Ford made, but in the UK, it's part of the SD range. And then best ways to connect. And he has those ones are for you. You can go at Fiesta_ST150_down under. Thank you very much. And Moog, I got a present for you. Well, it's a Matchbox 2021 Volkswagen Golf. I know you love golf, so I got this for you. There's nothing custom about it, but you also have a picture of you and the Mini. I've drawn the picture and painted it myself. That is freaking amazing. Thank you very much,
Marty,
Will.
with this little present I have made for you, it's a Matchbox car. It's a replica of the Gemini, but I have painted it myself in the shed, spraying the body, seats, and painting custom wheels. This is sick. This is excellent. I love the customness of it, and the colour is so close, man. Like, that is nearly bang on.
It's very, very close,
Look at
isn't
that.
it?
And the inside, he's done the inside black too. Like customed everything.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you
So
so much.
cool.
We love seeing people make stuff. Love it when you share your things
We
with
do
me.
have
Thank you
a
very
little
much.
collection of a lot of the stuff you guys send us, like literally right there. And
We keep it there so we can look at it.
so we can look at it because it's freaking
If you do want to
excellent.
send us something to the show, you can send it to the Unicorn Circuit, PO Box 475 Sydney Markets, New South Wales 2129, Australia. We'd love to open it up on the show, particularly if it's something that you've made yourself.
That's awesome.
Thank you if you've hung out with us for this long.
No, we've still got to eat
one
bags, dude.
last thing to do, Martin, and that is random eat bag.
This week on Random Fart Bag, we are going to open food.
We are, Martin.
Yeah.
This is one of the incredible
I love
creations
this
that someone's
unicorn.
made us. So good.
He looks like
Top
so...
fingers on the back.
Like,
So glazed. Anyway, Martin, this week, as I reach into its throat, we have
oh, yes.
the original corn snack. I can't read anything about it. It's called corn snack. Don't know where it's from. Thank you, Martin. Here you go.
Since
Take a look.
1983, just like me.
I think we had one of these before. That's a really good snack.
No, not too heavy.
Airy, pointy,
Yep.
light,
Crispy.
salty. Thank you for hanging out this far. Recap. Gemini episode's coming at you soon. The poster is only available for a very short amount of time, so check it out. Marty's and my personal Instas are down below. Drift night on Wednesday night. If it goes well, we'll do some regularly. Martin's never been fishing.
We'll discuss fishing and horses.
I did
later.
own 2 horses.
Maybe we're not.
I did own 2 horses. I did.
If you like the length of this episode, then good for you, because you're still here. And anyone who doesn't like the length, they're not here anyway. Anymore.
Martin, how do we know if anyone's still here? We need the code word.
Oh, we need a code word.
Yeah. What about
Fish butt?
goatfish?
Yeah, goat
No.
fish.
Horsefish?
Horse fish.
No. South mouth. If you're still here, the code word is south mouth.
But put it at the end of your comment. Don't just write south mouth. Like,
No,
write
no,
something.
do it. No, just write south mouth.
Oh, yeah?
I want to see a wall of south mouth. We'll come back and have a look.
YouTube's going to think it's spam. These are really good. and basically second lunch now.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.